Peter, always learn something new when I come on a Matsuura stand, certainly on the 3D printing side. What are you showing here this week at Southern Manufacturing?
Well, obviously it's great for us because we've got the 580 here, HP's newest, smallest printer. So we're trying to get this out to a market. It's a much more affordable product.
So compared to the other HP printer we looked at, that model is like you say, is a bigger machine, more capacity. Is that machine for a different market to this?
Some of it can be the same market. There's no doubt the 4200 is for high production runs. It can do builds because it's got the build unit, the processing station, whereas this is all in one. So your parts are staying in this machine while they're cooling, but then the advantage is it's smaller. It will go through a normal doorway, it will go into offices, go into factories. It can do small production runs, but it's also just as happy doing prototyping.
So is there any compromise in the quality of the part that comes off? Okay, so it might be smaller, it might be not so fast, but what about the actual quality of the component?
We're running about 90% of the strength of what we get out of the Big Brother, and considering how we're showing off today how strong the 4200 is, it's still a very strong part.
What's the price of this, Peter? Because this is a big draw.
This one's going to be sort of between 80 and 100,000, whether you're looking at mono, producing just white parts, or very shortly we're going to have full colour, which is quite exciting. And obviously we can't wait to get our hands on the 580 full colour.
And when will that be? When will we be able to do full colour?
The 540 is going to get launched around March on mono parts. We as a distributor have got the colour machine first. We're all mechanically ready, we're just going to get the firmware in the next month, and then we will test it, and it'll probably go to the market probably more towards the summer, autumn.
Immediately for me, I'm thinking, well, at that price point, you can be very attractive to people that are prepared to maybe get into a new market with minimal risk. There's also the educational arena. Are those your target audiences?
Absolutely. There are a lot of people that are nervous printing final production parts and spending £290,000. And yes, this allows those doubters to dabble into it, see what the quality is like, and then yes, they'll probably step up. But yes, you're right, education, universities, colleges, architecture places, design houses, perfect.
And talking about education, getting to grips with a machine like this, is it quite straightforward?
Yes, it's HP. So you get it installed, as long as you've got your files, you put them into the build manager software, and it prints. Yes, there's some training required for orientation, where you can put things in the build areas to keep that quality, but no, actually running them, particularly this one, all the consumables, the powder, it's all been simplified.
And tell us about the post-process as well then, the parts we saw behind us that are, well, they look beautifully finished. Is that what we can expect out of a machine like this?
Yes, and the reason why we've spent a lot of time post-processing this time is because people don't look beyond the grey or the white parts, and with Matsuura machines we're used to showing you what the machine can actually produce and not polish it and not finish it. Customers see the grey parts or the white parts, and yeah, they're okay, but when you show them what you can turn it into, they're wowed, and then all of a sudden they realise HP have made something that can make true final end-use production strong parts. But the market doesn't have that perception about the 3D printing world yet. It thinks they're just for making pretty desktop things, models, things that can break. HP sort of forgot to tell the world, hang on a minute, you can actually produce really strong final parts, and yes, what we've done is took the parts to an absolute professional level, and then people go, wow.
It strikes me you can use these machines from industrial applications, but also, as we said, in more domestic environments as well. So fantastic insight, fascinating. Thank you, Peter.
Oh, it's amazing, and you know, we've got models in the cabinet that you've seen. Yeah, they're not just because they're pretty. Modelling world, films, is a huge market for 3D printing. There's lots of Hollywood movies that are now 3D printing headgear, and yes, decorative market, jewellery, medical,
the list goes on.
It is. That's the one thing we've realised. We thought we'd be targeting our own sectors, but the market basically is as broad as you can possibly make it. And this one, it just opens that right up across a very affordable spectrum.